Good Friday evening, everybody. This is Russ from Kilt&Cork, and you are live. We are live on Facebook. I've got my awesome co-host, Carrie Boyle. How are you doing, Carrie?
I am doing great. You can tell I got bored today, and I now have pink hair, so it's been a very exciting day for me so far. Thank God it's Friday.
I like that look. I got to tell you, I like the pink hair.
Thanks.
It's funny because I was showering today. Today is Friday, right? So it's shower day.
Yeah, that's right.
So as I was drying my hair, I noticed, and I have these on just to mute the background noise, but it's getting long. I think I'm gonna grow it out again.
Nice. Well, I actually also cut my own hair today.
Okay, so you're one of those people. I've been seeing people post things that they cut their hair.
Well, I'm historically just pretty lazy about those things, and it takes me a good 3 or 4 months to go to the hairstylist. So I cut my hair anyway, but today I really cut it. I gave myself new layers. I covered it pink.
It looks awesome. I can't.
Thanks.
I mean, yeah, I know. I wouldn't have been able to tell that you cut your own hair today.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be saying hi to some people out there as soon as they start texting. I don't know why. Okay, so I did talk to Be Live. Wait a minute, what are you drinking?
I am drinking is a Napa Valley winery, but this is a rosé of Tannat, and the Tannat comes out of Clarksburg.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Clarksburg's got some cool stuff going on down there in Clarksburg.
Yeah, they do. It's quite happening right now.
Whoa.
What happened?
I'm not quite sure. We're having some weird audio issue there. Maybe somebody was watching in the background. That happens if maybe our guest is watching the show in the background. I don't know. with the volume on, then you'll hear it go through there. Anyways, I was going to say I'm drinking a fine vintage.
From that, appropriate.
I'm thinking I had some bourbon last week. Last night I drank some wine, probably too much wine. I'm going to be drinking wine like here in another couple of hours on a virtual tasting. And I figured I'm going to go with the beer.
Light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that thought as well, but I thought, what the heck? I'm not doing anything tomorrow, so.
Yeah, might as well no one's doing anything tomorrow. I don't think. This is a link if we had anybody that wanted to join us, but what's been happening in your neighborhood, though? Anything new going on out there?
No.
Same old.
I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but we took coronavirus care packages around to our neighbors, and
no, you didn't mention. I don't.
And some cookies, and so that was all the interaction we've had in our neighborhood. The grocery stores are still. The grocery store was actually stocked today.
What were you looking for?
Well, we were looking for like cheese and crackers and stuff, which we normally could get. We were getting for the wine tasting later tonight, but I just noticed that they suddenly had stock on all of the meats and eggs. There still was no toilet paper, but
yeah, still no toilet paper.
And there was plenty of bread, so it looked like they maybe got a handle on at least a portion of the ordering.
Yeah. I did get to see here. We've got Mike and Beverly Hauser watching. We've got Ann from Chico and Jack Gorman from the wonderful Amador Winery.
Yes. Hi, Jack.
Station down there. We were saying hi, and
my mom's
I guess
here.
It looks like your mom's here. Yeah. So if you're out there, say hi to us. We are just sitting here in our virtual bar drinking our cocktails. Of course, I'm drinking Corona. And our new pink-haired Carrie Boyle is drinking a nice Napa
rosé out of Tannat rosé out of Clarksburg, made by a Napa winery, though.
That's awesome. So you guys say hi if you're out there. You can chat with us on the chat there off to the side. So we have a guest that we're going to introduce tonight. He's got a really interesting perspective on wine and living life through wine. And I can't wait to introduce him in a little bit. But before we get to that, tonight's show is really going to be about things to do.
Yeah.
Last week, we had some people out there. That's right.
Just because we're housebound and under house arrest doesn't mean we can't still have some fun and make it interesting.
I love that. There's all kinds of words for what we're doing.
Something. What's that?
Oh yeah, I said I love all the different words there are for what's happening to us: house arrest, quarantine,
held in captivity. I like that one.
Kind of being held hostage here, but you know. So yeah, we've got some really cool things to talk about. If you haven't thought about doing something new or trying something new, there's going to be a lot of stuff that we'll talk about, and then we're going to be looking for ideas from you as well. So if you've got some cool things that you've been doing the past week, or that you're going to be looking to do over the next month or so, I don't know. I'm hearing we might be in this for another 8 weeks, 12 weeks. You never know.
Let's not bring the doom and gloom, man.
I don't know if it's all doom and gloom, but this is not bad.
My husband had a good idea today. We're building my garden. He built me new garden beds, so we were going to get dirt to fill the new beds, and he suggested our trip to the grocery store was to the cheese and crackers for later tonight, but also to get lunch. And we went to a park and we had lunch out in the sunshine. It was very, very nice, and something we never ever do. So it's nice to get some fresh air.
Yeah, totally. That's a great idea. Were there a lot of people around you?
No, there were quite a few kids that kept coming in and out on their bikes or walking their dogs, but there weren't many people at all. They had closed the parking lot off, but you could still park on the street. The restaurant was down, but tons of picnic tables, like a handball court. Yeah, it was cool. It was fun. It was nice to be out in the sunshine.
That's so cool. That's a great idea. I wonder, do you have a dog park there near you?
We have a dog park, but it's actually in Roseville.
Oh, okay. I just noticed.
I'm super afraid of everything, so I should get
he doesn't
on the way to the dog park, so it kind of takes all the fun out of it. But
that's very cool. Looks like Anne's drinking Adelaida Mourvedre.
El Paso.
Yeah, so she's got some nice like that she's drinking a more. Not one of the big wines out there as far as the varietal Mourvedre. I love that wine.
Oh yeah, and Linda with some Pico tea, which I also love tea.
Yeah,
to be a nice alternative happy hour beverage.
It is. You don't have to drink alcohol on this show. You can drink whatever you want. So it's all good. Anything big happened in the last couple of days? I mean, we were on here Wednesday. We had a great show Wednesday, by the way. So we're doing this Wednesdays and Fridays, I guess, as long as we can, right, Carrie?
Right. Yeah.
As long as someone watches, we'll be doing this. All kinds of stuff. But yeah, we had a great show on Wednesday. A lot of feedback, a lot of comments.
Yeah, and you can still watch it if you want to go back and check it out. 2 comedians on who were funny.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting perspective.
That was pretty funny. We have a next Wednesday. We've got another comedian on as well. And if you haven't been following the Corona Diaries, it's on Facebook. I highly recommend it. The guy is super funny. Robert G. Lee is his name, and he just has a really cool perspective. And he's delivering his diary as if the civilization is wiped out, so that somebody's going to pick this up in 200 years and say, "Wow, that was a weird situation back in 2020."
Yeah, certainly was.
Yeah, nobody ever could see this coming, but anyway, we're all still here, and that's good. I'm happy that we're all still here and we're all together. Trevor says hi.
Hi, Trevor.
Yeah,
and I got a sparkling wine. Good one, Jack.
Yeah, that's nice, Jack. Jack's a cool guy. If you guys haven't been down to Amador and met Jack, he's a great guy. And it's a really cool place down there for people that are not in this area that are watching. So people probably wonder where we are. If you're not in our part of the state, we're in Northern California. Carrie's in Sacramento.
Yes, I am.
And I'm out here in the El Dorado County area. We're just about 30 minutes.
And what's exciting in El Dorado County this week or today?
I'll tell you, my friends found the sport that you can do while we're under this social distancing command we're supposed to be under. You want to take a guess what it is?
Um, curling.
She's like, sports? What the heck is that?
uh,
No, curling. I think curling requires a team. If anyone's from Canada out there, you can explain what curling exactly is. I'm not sure if that's a sport, but they say it is. No, golf. Golf is,
golf.
the golf courses are still open, and from what I understand, you can still get out there and golf. They just don't let you ride with anybody. You have to be in your cart by yourself.
Oh, that's part of the fun, though.
I think you can. As far as me, when I golf, it's all about the socializing and drinking more than it is about looking for my ball somewhere.
Because I'm really bad at it, so the socializing to keep me interested.
That's right. So, and I mean, think about it. You're on the tee box and you get ready to take a swing. Your people are at least 6 feet away from you, especially if you're crazy and wild with that club, right?
Built-in social distancing.
It is. So I think that's a great thing to do, is go out there and do some golf if you're good at it or if you enjoy it. I'm terrible at it, but I do enjoy it. So anyways, yeah. So that's kind of what's new, I guess. Just people are out there golfing.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
All right, good for the golfers.
Mm-hmm. It allows them something to do when we're supposed to be social distancing. So when you go to the supermarket, did you notice? Do you have those little X's and tape?
Oh yeah, there's X's on the floor. They closed down one door. So you have to come in and out of the same door, but they've got a hand sanitizer station set up along with the wipes for the carts. But they're also outside as carts are getting returned. They're clearing the carts as well.
That's pretty awesome. I saw the people
close down all of the bulk bins. Those are all down.
Yeah.
All the meat is now prepackaged rather than being pulled out of the cases,
right,
for request. So yeah,
I hope they sterilize those golf carts too. But you know what, their golf carts are probably filthy nasty anyways. Yeah, but you never know. Anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on up here and what's going on down there. I think we have our guest. He's waiting in the wings off stage right now, and so I think it's about time to.
In the green room.
I think it's about time to bring him in. And again, this is where we need that. We need that band. We got to have a band that can, cut to that cool music and stuff, and bring these guys on. So, anyways, without further ado, this is Jeremy Maron. He is the Existential Wine Guy. Jeremy, cheers.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Good.
It's a good night to be out here visiting with friends online.
Exactly right. Especially when there's not too much else to do. So,
Right.
Yeah, no.
Great to see you guys.
This is pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is pretty much it, but it isn't. There's a lot of other stuff that you can do, and we're gonna talk about that. I mean, we all know that, at least us that are in the industry, we're still probably drinking about the same. I don't know if I'm drinking any more than I ever did. Glass of wine, a couple of glasses of wine with dinner, and drinking at 5 o'clock on Friday. That's not too unusual, is it?
No, not at all. That's about regular for me as well.
Unless it's 5 a.m.
I will say the joke around the house is it too early to drink? And it's the answer has never been no. So whenever that question gets asked, and you know how the day's been going at that point as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, I've just been doing yard work for 3 hours. It's now 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning.
Time passes fast.
Drink.
Never. So Jeremy, you've got some interesting thoughts on your show a lot. You're kind of explain to people that have never seen Existential Wine Guy what Existential Wine Guy is about.
Yeah, basically, I want to share the experience of being alive through wine. So I take kind of a different approach to a lot of other people when it comes to whether it be wine tasting or exploring wineries. I've always been much more about the why than the how.
Gotcha.
So when I talk to winemakers, my question is usually like, hey, what is your first memory of wine? How did you get from wherever you started off to right here?
Right.
Why are you making the type of wine you're making? Like what was that moment? What was that wine moment that hit you? And I think that especially for those of us who are in the industry, we have lots of wine moments.
Right.
But I'm always interested in that first one. That said, okay, this is the path that I started following. So while I have a full appreciation for people who can, mechanically break down a wine with the tasting notes and all of that sort of thing, I have an interest in that, but I'm more interested in finding out, how you got there. Why this wine, why now? That sort of thing. So that's kind of the approach that I take. And I also take that, not just winemakers, but other fellow wine aficionados or people who are into that. We have so many different wineries and so many amazing stories, not only to be told but to be heard.
Right.
And, and that's what I found out pretty early on, even as I was working in wineries and working behind the bar and tasting. That was my approach. Whether I was talking to the wine, the winemaker, the cellar rats, everybody in it, and including the people who were tasting at the bar. I've been that one guy at the tasting room bar behind the bar on Super Bowl Sunday when there's nobody out. I mean, nobody. But you get the one person who does walk into a winery on Super Bowl Sunday, they've got a story to tell. They're there for a reason.
Sounds like there's some opportunity there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, for wineries to get people in their tasting rooms on Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. I mean, I've done that many times. I've been there many times, and it's a ghost town. But for those
a ghost town
that do show up, it's kind of amazing. It's a great conversation.
Very cool. So Carrie, she can still hear us. I think she had a little background, so she's got her mic on mute.
Okay, I'm back.
It sounds like you're at the airport, and there's jets and airplanes taking off behind you.
Well,
but that's okay because it makes it charming.
My husband was just scraping dirt out of the back of the truck, and the bed of the truck was right behind the window. So sorry.
Oh, that's too funny.
And now he's closing the garage door, but I think I'm going to be good after this. We'll see what happens.
No worries. Okay, so we've been talking about things that people are doing now while they're sheltering in place. And so one of the things, we'll just kind of get right into it. We've got a list of stuff, and we'll give you some resources at the end of the show. We'll just put them on there. Carrie, you can help me with that.
Yeah.
We'll post them on Facebook if there's links and stuff. But for right now, let's get into the cool part that is the things that keep you moving, like the yoga and the workouts. What have you found online?
Well, I do know that there is there's a woman, her name is Leslie Allen, and she's in Granite Bay, and she's a Pilates and yoga studio, and you can go to her Facebook page, and there are meditations, there's yoga lessons. I think she's even doing Pilates, so those will stay on her page, so you can access those at any time at no cost. I actually, last week, a friend of mine in the Bay Area did a tapping session. So you got online and you did a tapping session with her, which
tap dance?
No, not tap dancing, tapping like this, what I'm doing, tapping.
Tapping.
Tapping along your chakra, or, the meat, trying to break up energy. So that was interesting. There's lots of independent people doing all kinds of cool things online now, but I know that Les Mills they program or offer programming for a lot of gyms. Their programs are available online at no charge. And I think I saw another one, Julia Tyndall, who is also local. You can find her on Facebook. She's offering a free yoga class on, I don't know if she's doing it on Zoom, but you can go to her page. She just announced that today.
There's this is Ohana Moon.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, they're doing videos, so of course you can get on there. This is a local place that I used to go to. I used to actually do yoga. I wasn't good at it, but it is what it is. But so there's a few places that are actually doing that. That's really cool. So then, as far as workouts, have you seen any, Jeremy? You can chime in here. Have you seen any cool workouts or anything?
One thing that I'll say that every business, and probably just more out of necessity than anything else, they have moved something online. We were talking about yoga. my wife and I do yoga. She more than me, but Yoga Shala, like they have live yoga sessions, just like you would there, for their members. So
That's cool.
it's kind of a cool thing, and my wife kind of loves it. She liked doing it at home, and the pacing was really good.
Yeah.
All the gyms seem to be doing something online, so kudos to them. And if there is any positive note we can say about the situation is forced everyone in every industry to up their technology game, to have some sort of presence online. Our wineries are absolutely no exception to that, and they've really done, I think, a fantastic job. If anything, there may be like too many live tastings right now.
Don't say that. I can't go in after this.
Yeah, exactly. There's amazing ones out there, and I want to watch them all.
I know and that's just the thing. So right now at 5:00, some friends of mine who do the Boogers, Eileen and Justin, they do a cooking show at 5:00 on Friday and Tuesday. And, unfortunately this week it's competing with this. I don't know, maybe we should move our happy hour to 4:00. Who knows? Happy hours start early, right?
They should.
I'm gonna throw something out there. We're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna put this out there to anybody. If you want to join us live on our happy hour right now, that is the link. You can see the link right there. And if you want to tell us about something cool that's in your neighborhood or something cool you have done during this shelter in place, by all means, just jump on there. I'll see you in our staging area, and we'll get you up on the screen. You'll be on video, so just know that. So anyways, if you want to be a guest on this show, let's see what happens. I mean, we've never done that before. Let's see what goes on. All right. So some other things that you can do is the learning. This is the cool thing, because Carrie turned me on to a site that I believe it's like Harvard. It's the Harvard. They're doing everything from culinary to science. Tell us about that, Carrie.
Well, I signed up for, somebody sent a link. Harvard has an online, I'm guessing it's their extension program, but it's science cooking. And it's called From Haute Cuisine to Soft. I can't remember what it is, but in parentheses it says chemistry. So it's 6 lessons.
Oh, soft matter.
Soft matter. I was like,
matter science.
Soft tissue? That's not right.
If you know what soft matter science is out there, you should tell it, because I have no idea what that is.
Well, it just
I'm not a scientist.
In parentheses, so I don't know. But each course covers dessert. One does molecular gastronomy. So each lesson, you're learning something, and it's applying the rules. Applying scientific principles to your cooking to become a better cook and to understand why you're doing what you're doing.
Right.
That's just one. There are the Ivy League schools. I guess you can get free courses from all of the Ivy League schools now. And I think it was through classcentral.com. You can go online and see, I think there's over 400 courses currently available.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's another, I'm looking for because if you take a class on there, you can say you've been to Harvard. Now, I guess you can't really do that, but it'd be kind of cool. I'm trying to look for there's some other resources out there, of course, like Udemy. And Trevor, by the way, Carrie, he's pointing out that he's drinking a 93-point wine that he got for 90. So the Udemy is another, udemy.com. Let's see. I think I have that. I'm going to do a little share here. So Udemy down there, that's a great resource if you want to learn some things. There's LinkedIn has their own learning now. They bought lynda.com, I think, a few years ago, and now they've got LinkedIn Learning. Those are all paid, but they do have free courses that you can do, just like here. And this one's cool. I'm going to bring this one up now. Fender. How about that? Fender.
Nice.
That's just incredible. They're offering free guitar lessons for 3 months. All you have to do is go sign up. And I think it was only for the first 100,000 people, but that's a lot of people. And when I signed up yesterday for my son, they were still taking the sign up. So
nice.
if you've ever wanted to learn guitar, I think that's a cool thing to do. You know, I got to give Trevor out there. He's
Yeah.
familiar. He's a cool guy. I think I did a portrait of him. Do you still have that, Trevor? Yeah. I don't know. It was done in spray paint. It was graffiti, pretty much. All right. So we talked about the learning. We talked about yoga. How about meditation? Anyone done any cool meditation out there with people? No, you guys are looking at me like, what the heck? Okay,
well,
so
I have the woman I mentioned before,
right,
Leslie Allen, she does offer meditation. I
okay,
think tons of apps available that you can get some form of free meditation.
okay.
Headspace, maybe, or maybe they are paid, but I think a lot of them have trial periods that you can go to.
Well, I do know one that is on every morning at 9:30. Jay Shetty. You see him a lot on Facebook and Instagram, but he's doing a live meditation every morning at 9:30. That seems to be pretty popular. I know a lot of people in my circle that are doing that. So that's always good to do. I think even like I have an app on mine. I think it's called my phone, but it's like a 5-minute journal, and it's always got meditations in the morning that you can kind of put down what you're thankful for and all that kind of cool stuff. So, what?
I'm looking at the response. Does staring into the abyss count as a meditation? I guess it's wrong, but absolutely.
I would say yeah, because you're zoning out, right? You're just looking at So he's probably abyss. I wonder where he is because he does travel a lot. If you don't know Trevor, his brand is called Take Me With You Wines, and you can find him on Facebook and Instagram. And he's got pictures of the wine all over the world. People take it with them. It's brilliant marketing. So kudos to that, Trevor. But you could just be laying on your couch at home, just looking at the ceiling, trying to see shapes and people and stuff, right? Anyone ever done that?
I think that's something different, Russ. I'm not sure that's meditation.
Right.
Okay, seriously, like when you used to have that acoustic ceiling stuff on there, it's not around now, but when I was a kid, we had that on our ceilings, and I'd sit there and I'd look for things, clouds, bears, animals. I think I was pretty lonely as a kid. I don't know. So this is another cool thing. A lot of online museum tours.
And there is one site I think that you can get them all listed.
Mm-hmm.
It came out like the first day of quarantine. It is I'll see if I can find it.
Well, this is a good resource right here. If you have Google Arts and Culture, you pull it up, and they've got online museums that you can go through, and they're amazing. So this one is like super exciting for me. The Museo Frida Kahlo in Mexico. Because if you know me and you've watched my show, I idolize this woman. She is just amazing. So I'm going to have to check this site out when we're not live. I get to sit here for hours and just look at that stuff. But what other things out there that are national parks? Did you guys see that? Bryce Canyon's got a national park tour.
And my mom just posted online zoo tours. You can go hang out with the animals.
Online zoo tours. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Super. And Anne said she's working. Anne is a healthcare provider, so she's on the front lines out there.
Thank you, Anne.
But you can do this on the weekends with all your spare time, since you have to go straight home and not go anywhere. We're all like enclosed for the next couple of days, at least till the end of the month, right?
Yeah.
At least that's what they're saying. Okay, so we talked about the online museum tours. We talked about national parks. How about this one? I just found this. Anyone out there readers? Do you guys read? Do you have?
Yes.
Are you guys classic readers or do you do audiobooks?
I do audiobooks.
I'm a classic reader.
Okay.
Audiobooks don't move fast enough.
So then,
I was a classic reader until I started going blind and realized I couldn't pay because it was too much work to see the letters on the page, and I refused to take classes.
Yeah.
So now I walk and listen to books. So that's kind of my meditation.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree. I can multitask and work. You know, when I'm working on creative stuff, I can listen to books, and that's kind of when I do it too, or when I used to be able to commute somewhere. But yeah, audiobooks are my thing.
And if anybody is a Beastie Boy fan, they
Yes.
have a book about the Beastie Boys. It has like all these guest celebrities come in and read different parts of the book. They have a band member that it was a woman that they kicked out in the early days, and they actually let her write a chapter in the book. Audiobooks have some benefits.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Some cool readers in there.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I should say, even within the classic reading type of people out there, you have the people that want to have a tactile book and turn pages. Mm. And then you've got people who have like the e-readers, Kindles and things like that. Yeah. Is that more you, Jeremy, or you more that you want to feel that book and turn the pages?
You know, I've worked, when I travel, having a Kindle is fantastic. Mm-hmm. It really is. But if I have my choice, I like the tactile feel of it. I don't think it's old school. It's just kind of like how I like to do it. Well, although the Kindle stuff is, really kind of amazing.
It is, and people, you know, like my wife Lauren, she reads probably a book every 2 days. She just goes through books on Kindle. And this site right here, Rakuten Overdrive, it's actually overdrive.com. But I just found this looking for books, and it gives you access to all the public libraries and school libraries around the country that do ebooks, and you can check them out, or you can, you know, browse them or whatever. Yeah, and they're free.
That's the Libby app, right?
This one's Overdrive. It's Overdrive. Let's see if I can make it bigger. There you go.
No, Meet Libby.
Meet Libby.
Yeah, it's when you download the app. It's
I got you. Yeah, Meet Libby. Yeah, okay, on the app. Yes, you're right. It's right there. Meet Libby is.
That's a great app to use. If you're a member at any public library, it'll download everything. And what's also really cool is it will go through your Amazon account too.
Oh, cool.
So if you need anything else, so you can download it like directly to your phone. But if you already have a Kindle or something, it'll just release it right through the Amazon app, and it's fantastic.
Right. That's very cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool. Karen says there's something about the smell of a paper book, and I have to agree with that. I love the smell of books. Libraries.
Well done.
Yeah, it's.
I agree, and I still buy books. I like to have books. I like to look through books.
And for that, there's really good. There is a bookstore called Capitol Books on K Street, way downtown.
Oh yeah,
are delivering books right now.
Oh,
really?
Awesome.
Yeah. So we had a bunch delivered to us early in the week.
Cool.
Like the restaurants, they are getting out there, and you can just buy it through them, and they will bring it to you.
Right.
Awesome.
That's so cool. So again, if anyone out there is wanting to get online with us here, I'll put the link up one more time. We've still got some time, so if you want to join us live on the show, that's the link, and you just put that in your URL, click on it, and you will show up here on the screen, and you can talk to us. I don't think anyone wants to talk to us.
Don't be afraid.
They just want to watch. They just want to, they want to be out there and text and watch, and that's all good too. So speaking of speaking and talking, there's another activity that you can do, Carrie, and we kind of brought this up this week, and that's learn a language. Yeah.
It's probably been on our to-do list forever. I know it's been on my to-do list since I left high school after 3 years of Spanish, and I let it drop.
Yeah.
I never continued my education, but then I did discover Duolingo, which is a crowdsourced language app.
Yeah.
You can learn Klingon or Hawaiian, but they do have Spanish, and it teaches you in a variety of ways. There's no charge for it if you get the free version.
Right.
Get ads and things like that, but it's actually really cool, and yeah, it's easy to use.
Duolingo,
yeah.
Duolingo. That is so cool. We got it up on screen right now. If anyone wants to see that, again, we'll put these links in the Facebook comment section afterwards so that you can easily click on them. So any other language sites out there? I think Babbel is another one that people can use.
Babbel's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To learn. And again, most of the stuff that we're putting up here is free. These are free things that you can do from your living room. Or if you sit on, if you stay in your bed all the time, then you can do it from your bed. So,
yeah, I would wake up and do my Duolingo lesson because they will send you a reminder as well.
Oh, that's cool. See, then that way you're being prompted by almost like a professor. Someone's telling you it's time to learn the language.
Yeah, and so you type words, you speak words, and you like select. You know, they'll say it in Spanish, then you have to select words. So it teaches using a variety of methods. So yeah,
that's really cool. I love that. I'm gonna have to try that. I could probably. I always wanted to learn another language. I lived in Germany for 3 years when I was in the Air Force, and I'm sure there's still a joke, but the Europeans had a way of making fun of us Americans by asking if you speak 4 languages, or 3 languages, you're trilingual. If you speak 2 languages, you're bilingual. If you speak 1 language, you're American. So
let's quickly add Jack's comment.
Yeah. What? That we're not, I'm going to put this, we're going to put Jack up here on the screen here real quick. He says, I note that you're all looking good. That's Carrie. You're talking about Carrie with her pink hair.
Loving the pink hair.
Thanks. Boredom.
Jack, I'm sure you look great. You always look great. I'm sure you're having a good time down there in Amador. It's, but like Carrie said, she cut her own hair today. So she's her own hair and makeup.
I did. I gave myself pedicure, gave myself facial, cut my hair, dyed my hair. It's been a big day.
It is. So Jeremy, are you wearing your day pajamas, or did you get dressed for this occasion?
I actually got dressed. I put on my a black T-shirt for you because I wanted to look back. And I think that's one of the tough things that we're talking about, things we can do, things that are going to keep ourselves busy. And if you've never worked from home, or if you never had this sort of this type of situation, it can be really, really tough to know what to do with yourself.
Yes.
Even the suggestions that we're bringing up for all these really, really cool things, literally be paralyzed by the amount of choices that are out there. When you say, oh, hey, I'm going to look at a museum. Well, there's about 100 museums, scratch that, about 1,000 museums that you can go online and check out, and it's all free, and it's tough. And what Anne is asking about pajama bottoms here. So, but back to it. I mean, you can go stir crazy really easy, and if you're not prepared, really, it's not your fault. So it's really, even now for me, I've got a day gig, and they decided that maybe only coming in once or twice a week would be okay. So what do you do with yourself for the rest of the week? And, we're talking about all that self-improvement. Well, one of the things that I've been aching to do for a long time that I never sort of got around to doing was any sort of wine certification. So, you know what? Here I am studying for my training set.
Dude, cheers to that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is like a really cool use of my time. My wife, who has worked from home for a very, very long time, I was losing it, to be perfectly honest. I was all sorts of, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. And I just got nothing done.
Yeah.
It's, settled me down and said, okay, choose 2 things. 2 things. Do 2 things a day. That's your goal. Anything else is gravy. I will tell you how hard it is to do 2 things a day. Shockingly. But
have you seen that?
To try to pull that off, give yourself a quick little goal.
Right.
And, it's something that's, sort of manageable, and do that.
Have you seen that meme that it's I've always wanted to do all this stuff around the house, but I just never had time. I mean, that was the excuse. I just never had time. It turns out that's not really the reason why. It's same here, man.
I've done a lot of yard work for the
Yeah.
I'm not that guy, so it's like it's like, oh, really? I've got no excuse. It's not even like, oh, I have time off from work. I should be. No, I'm at home stuck.
Yeah, and you can't go outside. I mean, when it's not raining.
Yeah.
And Jack, this is a bar, dude. This is like a virtual bar we're at. So it's not a family show. You can say bad words on this if you want. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been holding back. This is great.
No, I'm trying to behave, but I'm on my second beer now. See, in case you don't know what I'm drinking out there. But yeah, no, this is a virtual bar, man.
You can go very stir crazy in this type of situation, and it's really not anybody's fault. But you do have to give yourself something to do. So, getting up every morning, taking that shower, giving yourself a little self-care with, doing something to your hair, or a pedicure or a manicure, something like that. Yeah. All of that's super important,
So who's cutting your hair?
Me?
You cut your hair?
No.
I mean, it's short. I mean, did you get it cut before the quarantine or what?
No, when the quarantine thing went down, I couldn't get into my barber. I have a really good friend who's she's a stylist. She actually owns Salon Paisley down here in Sacramento. And I've known her for years and years and years, and I've never let her cut my hair. So we were hanging out a couple weeks before this, and basically I said, okay, this is your one chance. What would you do? What she said is just said, not that. And she ripped on me. It was really fun. And then what's great is when you're talking to professionals of any stripe, she broke it down. She was like, okay, well, your head's this way, your face is that way, boom, boom. And I said, okay. I feel like I'm cheating on my barber, which is really sad, but went in and she tore it all up, and it's the wife likes it, so that's all that really counts.
Oh my gosh, it's
good. It's good.
But I did go in. It was like what the thing started at last week on like a Tuesday at midnight. I went right in.
See you, Trevor. Trevor's taking off.
Bye, buddy.
I do feel that by the time the thing is over, there's going to be a lot more beards and a lot longer hair than and messy hair.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to have my hair cut.
Yeah.
In fact, I think if this does go another 8 to 12 weeks or whatever, my hair, it won't be that long, but it'll be on its way and to being the way it was before. I would show you a picture, but I think you guys have seen my hair longer before.
Yeah.
So some of the things that people are doing to pass the time, I'm just going to put this up on screen. This is pretty funny. Have you guys seen this? The social distancing pickup line?
Just saw this.
It's classic. Yeah, is that hand sanitizer? I can't speak. Someone else read that. Is that hand sanitizer in your pocket, or are you just happy to be 6 feet from me? Yeah, there's some good ones.
Screen, I can't read it.
Well, this one's, you can't spell virus without you and I. That's a great one. Yeah, there's some funny stuff. That's on. There's a lot of humor out there right now. I think we all need that, and it's fun to kind of see all that. I'm laughing all day.
Yeah.
If you're on your social media feed, you're probably going to be laughing. At least.
We're running back and forth. I go from my office to my husband's office. Did you see this one? He's always on Reddit. I'm always on Facebook and Instagram. So we run back and forth and show each other videos and memes and all that fun stuff.
Oh, that's funny. So you're getting
not being done.
You're getting some activity. You're like actually running in your house.
Well, yeah, the 4 feet that it takes to get there. Yeah, for sure.
That's
well,
funny.
We're talking about adjusting. I work from home normally, but this is like, they usually have stuff to do, but because I sell wine to restaurants, there's not, I don't have a day job anymore. Like, I'm figuring other things out. I had to make the checklist with time slots that I would, the time I would get up, the time that I would work on XYZ, the time that I would clean something in my house. Of course, I did that yesterday. Have I followed it? I get through the first 2 and then I'm done. But I can look at it now and give myself some direction if I feel like I'm floundering. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's funny. I just work from home normally, so it's not really that much of a difference for me, other than the meetings. The meetings aspect of it has changed. You know, obviously this is how we meet now.
Right.
And so for someone that's used to being around people a lot, like I'm sure both of you are the same way, and a lot of people are watching us, it's difficult to be inside without like seeing people all the time, you know, that you're used to seeing. But that's all right.
These are so much better than just texting someone.
Oh yeah, totally.
You feel like you're almost getting a human connection.
You're almost, you know, and one thing, remember Wednesday, our feed was like slowing down when people were trying to text us and we weren't getting the text when they were coming through. So I contacted BeLive about that. And I asked them, you know, I said, hey, we were having issues, and they were really cool. Customer service is really cool. But the reason why is because so many people are using this platform now. So their servers, they're just being overwhelmed. And so I'm sure Zoom is the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you guys done like virtual like meetups with like your friends? Like,
yeah.
We've had several friends now, like, you know, a couple friends that, you know, oh, hey, we both got a drink and this is how we're talking back and forth. And it's just,
right.
For us, it's really weird. I mean, there's a whole change in, you know, behavior and, you know, how we react to people. It's just, you know, it's going to change us as a society going forward.
I think it will too. I think some of the things that are happening to us all, especially the good things, I think those things are going to stick around. I think those will be a part of our culture and part of our lives, at least for the near future, after this is all, you know, past. You know, what I hope sticks around, and I can't dwell on this enough, is I hope that the cocktail delivery with food orders sticks around after this is all over with. How are they going to take that away, really? Come on, ABC. You're not taking that shit away.
There will be a rebellion.
It will. There is going to be a rebellion. It's going to be like, no, I want to order my pizza and a wine.
The restaurants are getting so creative. I think it was South, which they do Southern food and fried chicken down in Sacramento.
Love that place.
And they were just doing, you know, to-go cups with a lid on it.
Yeah.
They thought that was a little too lowbrow. So now they have like Capri Sun type of
pouches,
containers, and they're selling hurricanes and stuff like that to go in like a Capri Sun bag.
Oh, is it like I might have something like that around here.
Yeah,
it's like the
swipe of bags. Hey, real quick, Jack, of course we're friends. Facebook and other things, but also I think you're bringing up a good point. And to take this one step further, is the fact that a lot of the liquor laws have been temporarily relaxed to allow restaurants to, you know, do something, you know, in order for them to make a living. And at some point, we're going to have to take a look at a lot of these liquor laws to say, hey, how many of them are still actually relevant? Who are they benefiting? Because at some point, there's a lot of, you know, wineries, restaurants that could benefit from the permanent relaxation of these laws.
Right.
So I think we could see that. I hope we get to see that in our future a little bit.
So the opposite of relax, they've relaxed. I like your quotes. They relaxed the wine.
Yeah.
So the opposite of that, were we living under a uptight law situation? I mean, the opposite of relaxed.
I'm a winery owner, and I would guess, and like with 100% accuracy, that they're going to say yes. You know, we have a lot of wineries that can't sell food. They can't sell peripheral alcohol products. If you have a winery and a distillery, what you've got to do to break them up and separate them is really not very cost effective. Why can't they both be sold and or tasted in the same room? Are you kidding? You know, laws that do not protect or work for the small business person.
Right.
No, and I think, I don't want to get political and I don't want to get into it, but there are large groups with lots of money that lobby for these restrictions.
Absolutely.
They can maintain, I guess, an artificial competitive advantage. So
yeah, most of these laws have been in place since Prohibition,
right?
Where literally the gangsters who were running all the alcohol. Now it's legal. Now they have legal forms of distribution, and not much has changed. I mean, to the effect that any of the larger houses have no interest in changing the laws.
Right.
They are making money within the existing laws, and unlike the restaurants who have to, like, when something like this happens, they've got to retool their entire game. These guys have no interest in doing that.
Sure.
So, go ahead.
There was an opinion piece that I think Rick Mahan from the Waterboy posted from the New York Times, and it was talking. It was the point of view of a restaurant owner, I think in New York City. Mm-hmm. He's talking about how restaurants have been operating with less and less margin, but it's down to like 2%, where, a decade ago, maybe it was 8%. So it was still very thin anyway. And now these restaurants are going to be saddled with all of these expenses that have accrued while they can't have their doors open. And they're expected just to pay those back. So they have 2%. So they're barely making their bills anyway. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a month's worth of bills.
Sure.
Yeah, but they're still going to have to pay, even though they didn't have the benefit of the revenue coming in. So I think, I would hope that the ABC, or however these rules all come into existence, that they take that into account, because the restrictions, I mean, it does make business more expensive.
Yeah,
it does.
Absolutely. And I think in some cases more so in the restaurant field and maybe even wineries. Wineries are very restricted in what they can do and what they can't do, but at least they can do what they're supposed to do, which is make wine and sell wine.
Right.
But if you're looking at a distillery, let's take a look at one of my favorites, St. George's distillery. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're fantastic, and you get to go there and you get to do a tour and a tasting, and it's a great time. If anybody gets down there, you should absolutely do it. And they have alcohol. There are products that you could buy, but in order for them to sell it, they literally have to send it to their distributor, within frame, to their distributor, and then the distributor has to sell it back to them, and then they get to sell it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I beeped you, by the way. We're on a 3-second delay. I beeped that. You can't say fuck.
I muted myself. It's sort of,
it is crazy. And Jack actually just brought up a good point, because I lived in Virginia for a couple of years. And Virginia is one of the states that has the state-run ABC, much like Idaho, and I think is Oregon like that as well. I'm not sure, but I know some of our neighboring states.
They may have. I think they opened it up in Oregon. But
Gotcha. New Hampshire. I lived in New Hampshire. It's the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got these state-run, agencies that close they close at 9:00. So if you want something to drink after 9, you are kind of screwed.
So barbaric, isn't it?
It is. But I think back to California, if people that are watching this are people that have been experiencing the luxury and the convenience of, like, say, ordering a pizza and a bottle of wine, and it gets delivered to your house and you enjoy that together, I think if they start writing their representatives saying, hey, we need to keep this in place, that could help as well. It can't just all come from the industry, because the industry's tried forever to try and change these these rules and laws and things, and it just hasn't been working out, I don't think. Like you said, Carrie, because the law, there's a lot of lobbyists and a lot of stuff out there. So I think if the people finally say, we want our wine and our beer and our booze with our food delivered to my freaking house, it could work.
Right. Yeah. One of the things is, as any politician will tell you, is the most important part of our economy is the small business person. Mm-hmm. It's the small business person right now that's getting kicked around. They're in a position right now that they had to relax all these laws. Well, if we are in such a position that those laws needed to be relaxed because it inhibited them from making money,
sure.
Well, why aren't they permanently relaxed? Why aren't we giving entrepreneurs full reign to earn a dollar?
Yeah, and I think that's part of it. Once anyone that's been a parent out there, once you allow somebody to do something that was formally forbidden or off, you couldn't do this. Even, okay, if you've been in college or if you've been in the military or whatever, there's those things out there that everyone's telling you, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. And then they say, okay, you can do that, but only for this weekend. That shit happens after that every weekend. You can't take it back. You're not going to be able to take back what you've said it's okay.
We'll just have to all throw temper tantrums.
Oh, that's right. Exactly. And by the way, Karen, that is a great reason why you shouldn't live in Indiana, at least up until recently. You can't buy booze on the weekend. What's that?
That doesn't make any sense.
When do most people drink? Most normal people, they drink on the weekends, right? You're barbecuing.
I mean, we're not.
We're not normal.
A lot of people say that living in California is tough, and until you go to other states.
That's true. No, you're right. You're right.
There's a good example of that.
We do talk about drinking a lot, and I know all three of us are on the belief that you should be responsible when you drink. Don't drink and drive. That's not a problem right now, honestly. So don't drink and walk upstairs if you've had too much. I'd say probably a bottle and a half of wine. I'd draw the line there. Probably shouldn't be walking upstairs. Yeah, half a bottle of vodka or something like that. But
did you see the meme? Somebody had said that they had put 4 beers in each room of their house, and they're not a pub crawl.
That is awesome. I love that. Hey, and we could put a bottle of wine in each room, different bottle of wine.
Totally. Put a snack in each room and have a progressive dinner.
You could.
Creative with this.
A lot of cool ideas that you could do just to entertain yourself and whoever happens to be living with you.
That's right, Jack.
Wow, this has been fun. We're getting close to an hour here, and we want to make sure we wrap it up and let everyone go about their night, because I know that you're booked. You're booked. You're booked for the rest of the night. I mean, something's going to come on at 6 and you got to watch it. So we want you to be able to do that.
There were 2 more things that I wanted to mention on the free. Today, there were actually 2 really cool things being done by local restaurants. Hook and Ladder is doing a series with their chef where he's doing just quick little lessons, like he did knife skills or how to sharpen a knife or why it's important to sharpen knives, and
nice,
something different. And then
right.
I think it was today, I bring up Rick Mahan again, but he was at One Speed and they're doing pizza kits. So you can buy the dough and the sauce and the cheese to go. I think a couple of places are actually doing that, but he showed you how to actually stretch out your pizza dough so that you're successful. I don't know if you've tried it before.
It breaks.
It breaks, or you do it in gold and it just keeps going back into a ball.
Yeah.
It shows you how to do it. So that your restaurants out there are doing their darndest to provide extra value so that you keep thinking of them and going to them orders. And then I wanted to bring up, I brought this one up Wednesday too, just because it's Friday night. If anybody needs a dance party, there is a site on Facebook called United We Stream, and I think it's like a group of German DJs, but they're doing live electronic music. You could have a dance party in your living room.
I think having a live Zoom dance party might be something that we schedule at 11 o'clock at night, maybe. I know Jack will be there. That would be pretty funny, actually.
I think we should, and we can all get dressed up.
Oh wow, like dressed up like furries and stuff.
Who gets to pick the music though?
Well, you would. I mean, you should host this. It's live dance party with Carrie.
I feel like
you pick the music.
If you guys seen, there's 2 big concerts being live streamed this weekend as well. There's a big one for the World Health Organization that's going to have everybody. And
that's
whoever
Elton, right?
On that is Elton John is doing one on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
cool.
those will be fun things to watch and keep yourself, fairly amused.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's very cool. Jack,
cocktail kits.
Yeah, Jack just said that Hook and Ladder, they're doing cocktail kits.
Nice.
Very cool. So if you've enjoyed watching tonight's show, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And I know there's a lot of choices out there now. There's all kinds of stuff you can stream. But we've really enjoyed having you. I've really enjoyed having you guys on the show. Carrie, I mean, you're the co-host, but just
Yes.
Make sure that you, if you're watching out there and you want more information, River City Wine Week on Facebook has a lot of information on things that you can do, and resources, restaurants, wineries, that kind of stuff. And just for no other reason, make sure you follow River City Wine Week, because once River City Wine Week actually happens, there's a lot of stuff going on, Carrie.
Yeah, we're just trying to get through this current situation.
Yeah.
Once we get back to normal, we'll move away from being a promotion site and go back to
Talking about the event.
the wine scene around these parts,
Right.
So yeah, but
Very cool. And then, of course, you do want to get on Facebook and Instagram, and follow Mr. Existential Wine Guy. He's always got some cool stuff, and he's doing shows now. I was talking to him earlier today. Jeremy, tell him how you're doing your shows now.
So about a year ago, I started doing lives every Wine Wednesday at 5:30, and I just, even I got bored of them. It was kind of crazy. And I just, it was kind of weird. I wasn't sure what I wanted to say or even wanted to talk about. And that's always a bad sign.
Sure.
So I stopped doing them. And over the last summer, I did some traveling. I went to Germany. I went to the Saxon region. I was doing wine tasting, all sorts of fun stuff. And, finally realized that maybe I do have something to say again, and more things that I want to talk about.
Sure.
That are, again, the experience of being alive through wine. Not always necessarily centrally wine centric. So I've decided just to switch things up quite a bit. So especially on Instagram, but Instagram and Facebook, when I do my lives now, they are probably rarely will be announced. They're not a scheduled thing, and they're going to be at all sorts of different times. So, I've done it,
like 2 in the morning.
They could be early morning, they could be late at night, somewhere between. So it'll be just sort of a kind of a fun, random thing. So sometimes you'll catch me, you'll get those notifications on Facebook and Instagram that I'm live, and and I'll also do them for a little bit shorter than I used to. I used to do a show that was probably about close to 20 minutes or so, and this I just want to talk about different ideas that things that we're all going through, and shorter, 5 or 10 minutes time.
Sure. And you've got a lot of material right now, all kinds of stuff going on.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And with my show and my site and everything else, we're not going to shy away from those things. We're going to talk respectfully about politics, philosophy, stuff. Whatever.
Yeah, see, we can talk about that stuff here, man. There's no political talk in this bar.
No,
you get thrown out, man. You get bounced.
And having said that, I think that there's some important conversations to have. And, I'm looking forward to sharing that with people.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you being on the show tonight.
Hey, man, it was my pleasure in any time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
well, we'll probably have you back. Well, and I'm Russ. You guys know who I am. Anyways, I'm
not following this guy.
If you're not following Kilt&Cork, you're doing gotta follow me.
Yeah,
it's fun. We do some fun stuff. I think Carrie, this new thing, this might have some life to it after this whole quarantine thing's over with. I'm really enjoying doing this.
I totally look forward to it every time.
It might not be every week or something, but I think if we can kind of keep doing this, it's a lot of fun. A lot of people are interacting with us. That's pretty cool. And now we got Jack. Jack said he's going to harass us every week or every show. If you don't know, we do broadcast, at least for the near future. We're going to do our Hump Day happy hour that came out of our first Friday that we did last week. So Hump Day happy hour at 5 o'clock, and then Friday happy hour. We might change it 4. I don't know. Maybe we could think about that. Yeah. Right now it's 5 o'clock. Right now it's 5 o'clock.
See what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, we'll see what people are doing. If you guys have any preference, next Wednesday, I do want to say that next Wednesday, if you join us for our Hump Day happy hour, we're going to have another comedian on. His name is Robert G. Lee, and his claim to fame is he's doing this Corona Diaries right now. So it's Corona Diaries on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, it's at Corona Diaries. I encourage you to check it out. It's funny as hell. This guy is talking to us like we're living 200 years in the future and we don't know what really happened. And so he's trying to explain what our culture was like now, and especially during this period. So it's funny as hell. This guy's going to be great. We can't wait to have him on. That's next Wednesday. And then I'm just doing some virtual tastings. So if you like to taste wine and you want to see what's going on with that, check out my Facebook page too at Kilt&Cork. And I think that's about it.
All right.
We've had a good night.
Right on, guys. Hey, cheers and love. Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Hey, man, lots of love for all you guys. Thank you so much for joining. And cheers.
Everyone else. Yep.
Everyone, be safe out there. Listen to your conscience. Stay indoors. Don't go out there and get people infected. So Jack wanted to say one thing. He's got something going on in Amador. So yes, Women in Amador Wine, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Don't miss that. That's a cool thing.
Nice.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yep.
And we are going to sign off now. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Cheers.
See you on Wednesday.